Hello dear students, how are you all? So today we are going to start the line to line explanation of the chapter 3 questions and I hope you all are ready with your book and pen in your hand. So let's get started. Students, in this chapter we are going to learn some moral values and these moral values are forgiveness, kindness, acceptance and wisdom. These moral values have great importance in human life. So let's talk about them. Now, firstly, we'll talk about forgiveness. We all should possess a heart to forgive each other's wrongdoings with sincerity in our heart. The other main point of the theme is kindness. As we know, we should be kind towards others because kindness increases happiness and improves our social relation. Doing good of others always feels good. So students always have a kind heart. So our next point is acceptance, and this chapter makes us understand about this very important phenomena of life, that is acceptance. We should accept every aspect of life happily. Only then we can lead a happy life. And the most important point is wisdom. Okay? So, wisdom can be defined in many ways. Wisdom is that ability which makes us to take right decisions. So, if we really want to be happy, we should adopt these qualities in our life. I hope you all are ready to learn this quality through your very first chapter, that is 3 questions. The thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew 3 things. These 3 things were: what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? What is the most important thing for him to do? So in this story 3 question, the writer Leo Tolstoy has not given the name of king. So there was a king who thought if he knew 3 things in his life, he would never fail in any aspect of his life. And what were the 3 things? These 3 things were the questions. So very first question was, what is the right time to begin something? Second question was, which people should listen to? And the third one is, what is the most important thing for him to do? So to find out these answers, what the king did, let's see. The king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these 3 questions. So what the king did? He sent his messengers throughout his kingdom and he promised to give a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these 3 questions. So what happened next? Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. Okay, obviously the wise men were different, the people were different, their mindset is different, their opinion is different. So they all gave different answers for the same 3 questions. So they all gave suggestions to king. So now we'll see what are the suggestions given by these wise men. So in reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything at its proper time. So they suggested to king to prepare a timetable and they said, you have to follow it very strictly because this is the best way to do everything on time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something because we do not know what is going to happen. So how can we tell in advance the right time to start something? The king should notice all that was going on. They said that he should notice all the things which was going around him, avoid foolish pleasures and always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at the proper time. This was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly without help from others the right time for every action. So council is a group of people chosen to give advice or to make rules. So they suggested to have a council of wise men. Why? Because if we think about one man is not capable of doing everything. So if there will be more men in council, so they will give different answers and the king will get answers easily and on proper time. Okay? But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. What will he do in case of urgency? because these things could not wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future, and only magician could do that. The king therefore would have to go to magicians. So they said that what you will do in case of urgency, because the urgent decision cannot wait for the council. So what the king should do, that he should go to the magicians. Why magicians? Because magicians were the only people who can see the future. Now, in their answers to the second question, some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselors. Others said the priests. A few others chose the doctors, and yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. So counselor means members of the council. Okay. So our second question was which people he should listen to. So he was now asking about the people. So they suggested him the important person of his life. They said the counselors were important for him. Others said that priests were important, and few chose the doctors, and some supported the soldiers. To the third question, some said science, others chose fighting, and yet other religious worship. So what was our third question? What is the most important thing for him to do? So they said that the important thing for him to do is to look after the science. They chose fighting, and some chose religious worship is important for him. As the answer to his question was so different, the king was not satisfied and gave no reward. So obviously, if the answers were different and the king was not satisfied, so why will he give any reward? So he did not give any reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. So hermit means a person who lives alone and leads a simple life. So he decided that he will go to the hermit and he will take his advice. And this hermit was very famous for his wisdom, means intelligence. The hermit lived in a wood which he never left. Here in a wood means isolated area. He saw no one but simple people, and so king put on ordinary clothes. Because the hermit was very simple, so to match his pace, the king decided that he will also wear the ordinary clothes. Before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse and his bodyguard and went on alone. So before reaching the hermit's hut, what the king did? He left his horse with his bodyguard and he went on alone. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. So when he went nearer to the hut, what he saw, that hermits were digging the ground. He greeted the king and continued digging. He here means hermit. Greeted means welcomed. So the hermit welcomed the king and kept on digging. The hermit was old and weak, and as he worked, he breathed heavily. Because the hermit was very old and weak and he was working very hard, so he was breathing heavily. The king went up to the hermit and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I need most? And what affairs are the most important? So when the king got nearer to the hermit, he told him that he was here to have the answers of his 3 questions. That is, the right time to start something, the most important person in his life, and the most important matter in his life. The hermit listened to the king but did not speak. So now what happened? The hermit listened the questions of the king but he did not reply and kept on working. Because he was old and weak and he was breathing heavily, what the king did? You are tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work in your place. As he was very weak, so king offered his help to him and he said, let me work in your place. Thanks, said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. So spade means a tool to dig something. See, as you can see in the picture, this is spade, a tool from which we dig. So when he offered his help to him, the hermit said thanks and he sat down on the ground. So you can see in the picture he is hermit and he is king. Not looking like king because he has wore ordinary clothes, but actually he was a king. When the king had dug 2 beds, he stopped and repeated his questions. The hermit gave no answer but stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade and said, "Now you rest and let me work." So students, when the king had dug 2 beds, beds means kyari, he stopped digging. Why? Because he was here to ask questions, not for digging. And he repeated his questions. The hermit gave no answer. So this time also that hermit gave no answer. And he thought that king must be tired. So he said to him, "Now you rest and let me do my work." But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed, then another. The sun went down behind the trees, and at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return home." So what happened? Because he was digging for a whole day, so the time was passing very soon. So at last he got irritated. So what he did? He talked to him in very harsh voice. He said directly, "If you don't know the answers, please tell me clearly and I will return back." "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. So now students, as you can see that there is another man in the picture. And who was he? We will discuss later on. Now before moving forward, let's discuss these questions. Why did the king want to know answers to 3 questions? The king wanted to know answers to 3 questions because he thought if he knew these 3 answers, he would never fail in his life. Number 2 question. Messengers were sent throughout the kingdom to fetch wise men, to find answers to the question, to look for the wise hermit, to announce a reward for those who could answer the questions. So the correct option is to announce a reward for those who could answer the questions. So here comes the second part of the story. The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach from which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. So when the hermit said someone is coming towards them, the king turned round, and what he sees that a bearded man was running towards them and blood was flowing from his stomach. As he reached near to the king, he fell down and got fainted. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. Redressed means dressed again. So when the king and the hermit removed his clothing, they saw that there was a wound. Okay, they saw that there was a wound in his stomach from which blood was flowing continuously. So to stop flowing of blood, what the king did? He redressed his wound until the bleeding stopped. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. So when the man felt little better, he asked for something to drink and king gave him fresh water to drink. By this time, the sun had set and air was cool. So obviously it's evening time, so air was cool. The king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. The king, tired by his walk and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. Okay, so what happened? After when the bleeding stopped, they both, the hermit and the king, they both carried him inside the hut. And what they did, they laid him on the bed. Because the king was also very tired because he had worked very hard whole day. So as he lay down on the floor, immediately he also slept. And that night, actually he had a good sleep. So when he awoke next morning, what happened? When he awoke, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who the strange bearded man lying on the bed was. So when he awoke next morning, for few seconds he forgot where he was and who was that bearded man lying on the bed. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice, when he saw that the king was awake. So when the bearded man saw that the king was awoke, so he said to forgive him. Now king got surprised. Why? Because he don't understand why he's asking for the forgiveness. And then the king said, "I don't know you and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. So he said to him that, "I even don't know you. So for which thing I should forgive you? Tell me, why should I forgive you? What you have done? You don't know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who sought revenge on you, because you put my brother to death and seized my property." Now that bearded man tells him something. He told him that he was his enemy who was here to kill him. So why he wanted to kill the king? He wanted to kill the king because the king killed his brother and took his property. "I knew you have gone alone to see that hermit and made up my mind to kill you on your way home. But the day passed and you did not return. So I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard who recognized me and wounded me." So here he is confessing something. He said to him that he was following the king and he knew that he has gone alone to hermit. So he planned to kill him on his way to home. But because king was digging the beds whole day, so he did not return. So what the bearded man did, he left his hiding place. As he left his hiding place, the king's men recognized him and sought him. "I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wounds. I wished to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now if I live, I'll serve you as your most faithful servant, and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me." Now the bearded man is saying that he escaped from his bodyguard. Now see the irony here. The bearded man wished to kill the king, but king was the same person who saved his life. The bearded man promised to serve him for rest of his life, and he also said that he will order his sons to serve him. Please forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with his enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. He not only forgave him but said he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him, and he promised to give back the man his property. Now king was very happy. Why? Because his enemy became his friend now. The king promised him that he will return back his property and he will send his servants and his personal doctor to look after him. Why? Because the bearded man was hurt and not at all well. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked round for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to get answers to his questions. So now again king started looking for the hermit. Why? Because the whole day and night has passed, but yet also he has not get any answer. So he thought, before going back, let me try one more time. The hermit was on his knees sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. So surprisingly, the hermit was on the same place where he was yesterday, and this time he was sowing the seeds. The king went up to the hermit and said, "For the last time, I beg you to answer my questions, wise man." So he again asked the answers, but this time he pleaded to him. "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still bending down to the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. So when the king asked his questions again, the hermit was on his knees. He saw up and said that you already have the answers. "How I have been answered? What do you mean?" Now the king got surprised. Why? Because he didn't have any answers. "Do you not see?" replied the hermit. "If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you would have gone away. Then that man would have attacked you and you would have wished you had stayed with me. So now the hermit made him understand that what he was saying. He said that if he wouldn't have held him yesterday, he would have gone away. Then the bearded man would have attacked him, and that time the king would have wished that he had stayed with me. Okay? So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business. So now further he explains him that for your first question that was about time, the most important time was when you were digging the beds. And for the second question that was about important person, so that time the most important person was I means hermit. And for the third question that was about most important business, so to do me good was your most important business. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him. Because if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business. So he explained these questions for different situation. Now situation is when the bearded man came running towards them. So now for the very first question that was about time. So the most important time that time was when he was caring for the bearded man, because if he had not dressed his wounds, he would have died. And for the second question, the most important person this time was bearded man, and whatever you did for him was your most important business. Now further he explained this very briefly. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. So now he explained him clearly that the most important time to do something is now, because it is the only time we can do anything. The most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment, for no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we'll meet anyone else. And he says that the most necessary person is the person or was the person you are with at that particular moment. The most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into this world for this purpose alone. And the most important business was to do good of that person, because God has sent us in this world for this purpose only. He has sent us for doing good things. So we should always help others and we should always do good things. So students, this is how this chapter ended. So this story told us many important things. It told us that the importance of time. So student, we should never waste our time. It also told us the importance of people. So we should always respect all the people. And lastly, it told us that humanity is first prospect of human. So we should always do good of others. I hope you all have understood this chapter now. So we'll meet in next video. I'll be giving you question answers. Till then, stay safe. Bye-bye.